welcome to another episode of Homework with Ms. Thomas. I am Ms. Thomas, and today we will be exploring Lesson 12, Homework, in Module 1. The objective is to solve multi-step word problems using the standard addition algorithm modeled with a tape diagram and assess reasonableness of answers using rounding. Let's jump right into it. All right, for each of these, we're going to estimate and solve each problem. We're going to model with the tape diagram. So we're going to explain if our answer is reasonable, and we're going to do that using rounding. All right, for number 1, there were 3,905 more hits on the school's website in January than February. February had 9,854 hits. How many hits did the school's website have during both months? So I'm going to first look at A. It says about how many hits did the website have during January and February. About tells me to round. So I'm going to, and this is just my preference, I'm going to set up my problem first and then come back and do the rounding second. So I'm going to skip A since I'm going to round second. And then for B, I'm going to set up my problem here. They tell us information about January and February. And actually, we need to find the number of hits in January and February. For January, I'm going to do a tape diagram for both. For January, they tell us that there were more hits than in February. So then I know that January's hits is going to be a longer bar, but then outside of that, it's the same as February's. It's the same as February's and more than that, right? So the same as February's. February's is 9,854. And then in the second part, I'm going to put the more part because it was 3,905 more than in February. For February, it was 9,854. They want to know the hits for January and February, which would mean that I'm going to add all of them together. Let's call it H for hits. So in order to find H, or the total for January and February, the hits for January and February, I'm going to add these numbers. I'm going to add January's, which was 9,854 plus 3,905 plus February's, which was 9,854. I'm going to start in the ones. 4, 5, and 4 is 8 and 5 is 13. So I'm going to write a 3, regroup 1. Then I have 5, 1, 0, and 5. That's 11. Regroup 1. We have 10. 1 and 9 is 10. 8 and 8 is 16. So that's 26. Regroup 2. We have 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So 23,613 hits in January and February. Now for the rounding, I'm going to take each of those parts and I'm going to round them. I'm going to do to the nearest thousand. So we had about 10,000, about 4,000. And again, I'm just taking these same numbers and I'm rounding them, and about another 10,000. So it was about 24,000. When I look at my estimate compared to the exact amount, those numbers are close to each other. So we could argue that our answer is reasonable. So for C, it says, is your answer reasonable? You would say, yes, it is reasonable because my estimate and my exact answer is correct. Is close, sorry. 24,000 is close to 23,619. Let's move on to number 2. On Sunday, 77,098 fans attended the New York Jets game. On the same day, 3,397 more fans attended a New York Giants game than attended the Jets game. Altogether, how many fans attended the games? So, the first question asks, what is the actual number of fans who attended the games? So let's first set up this problem. We have the New York Jets, and they told us that on Sunday, 77,000 fans attended that game. For the Giants, they had more than the Jets. So this would have two parts. The first part will be the same as the Jets because it's more than the Jets. And the Jets was 77,098. And then the more part, which was 3,397. They want to know how many fans attended altogether. So I'm going to put this bracket. Let's call them F for fans. In order to get F, I would add all these numbers together. That's 77,098, another 77,098, and a 3,397. All right. We have 8, 8, and 7. That is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. We have 9, 9, and 9. That's 27, 28, 29. For the hundreds, we have 2, 0, 0, and 3. That's 5. And then we have 7, 7, and 3. That is 17. So I'm going to write a 7 and regroup 1. 1, 7, and 7. That is 14, 15. So this is the actual number of fans. In order to see if our answer is reasonable, and they're telling us here to round to the nearest 1,000. So the fans is about 77,000, another 77,000, and 3,000. Put that together and we have 14, 15, 16, 17, 15. We have about 157,000. That is close to the actual answer. Very close. So we could say that yes. Is your answer reasonable? Yes. Because 157,593 is close to the estimate. Of 157,000. Last year, on Ted's farm, his 4 cows produced the following number of liters of milk. And so they tell you here how much each produced, except for Betsy. For A, it says Betsy produced 986 more liters than Buttercup. How many liters did all 4 cows produce? So I'm going to put that right up here on the chart. If she produced more than Buttercup, then she produced the same as Buttercup, which is 7,087 plus, how much more did they say? They said 986. So I'm going to be adding that together. They want to know the liters for all 4 cows. So let's call them C for cows. I would have to add all 4 parts. That's 5,098. That's 7,087. That's 986. That's 9,980. And that is another 7,087. We're going to add all those together. We have 8, 7, 6, and 7. 7 and 7 is 14. 8 and 6 is 14. Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, 14. So then that would be 28. Regroup 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 8s. That's 32. Well, let's do 5 8s. That's 40, 41, 42, 43. Regroup 4. 9 and 9 is 18. 19, 20, 21, 22. 2, regroup 2. And then we have 7 and 7, that is 14. 9 and 2 is 11. 14, 11. That is 25. 25, right? Oh, plus 5, 30. So 14, 11. Plus 5 is 30. 30. So 30,238 liters of milk. They want us to see if our answer is reasonable. So I'm going to round to the nearest thousand. So we got 5,000, we have 7,000, we have 1,000, we have 10,000, and we have 7,000 again. Add that together and we get 10, 24, 25, 30. So it's about 30 liters. So our answer is reasonable because 30,238 is close to 30,000, which is my estimate. All right, on to number 4. During the National Recycling Month, Mr. Yardy's class spent 4 weeks collecting empty cans to recycle. So here's what they did. They told us that during the second week, the class collected 1,256 more than they did in the first week. So that means they did the same as the first week and 1,256. They want to know the final total of number of cans for his class in all 4 weeks. So we're going to add all 4 days. Let's call the, or all 4 weeks, I should say. So let's call it C for cans. We have 10,827. Another 10,827. 1,256. 10,522 and 20,011. We have 77621, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 3 regroup 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 13, 14, 4 regroup 1. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Regroup 2. And then we have 2, 3. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the estimates, I'm going to round to the nearest thousand. We have about, well, really it's about 11,000. Another 11,000. 1,000. 10,000. And 20,000. I should have rounded up to 11,000, not 10,000. So that is about 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 5. So about 53,000. Those two answers are close to each other. So we could say yes. Our answer is reasonable because 53,443 is close to 53,000. All right, that does it for the homework for lesson 12 in module 1. Thanks so much for watching. Till the next time, keep learning. Bye.